Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy. And this is where characters gather. This week was a light reading week for me. I had a book hangover from Heart of the Sun Warrior. It just took me a little while to get over that. So, what did I read? First, let's talk about my DNF of the week. And unfortunately, it was on my Kindle. It was The Haunting of Bonaventure Circus by Jamie Jo Wright. I read well past my 50-page cutoff for yay or nay of a book. I read like 27%. And I was bored. It's a dual timeline. Couldn't get none of the characters connected. When the most interesting character is the baby elephant who may or may not have to be put down. It wasn't working for me. I don't think I'm writing Jamie Jo Wright off as an author. I just think that this wasn't the right choice for me. Next up was my audiobook this week. I'll put it right here. Murder by the Book by Lauren Elliott is the first in the series, the name of which escapes me at the moment. This was a good, solid start to a series. Interesting character, full of backstory. It sets up the ability for the series to continue in the small town of Massachusetts, but also to happen elsewhere in the world. So there's the potential that Jessica Fletcher syndrome will not strike this series. I will be continuing it. It is a good, solid 3.5, 4 stars for me, and I enjoyed it. Next up, I read Children of Gods and Fighting Men, Excuse the Glare, by Shauna Lawless. This was a library book. It was on my anticipated 5-star reads for the first quarter of 2023, as was The Haunting of Bonaventure Circus by Jamie Jo Wright. This is the first book in the Gale Song series, and I really think it's a debut novel by Shauna Lawless. It's the first book she's ever written and published, and this book sets up a lot of backstory for Irish mythology and Irish history and the characters in the book, and I believe the story going forward. I enjoyed it immensely, but it wasn't a 5-star for me. It was a good solid 4, but it wasn't a 5, unfortunately. It suffered from too much world building, not enough storytelling. But that being said, the story is there and it works and it's fine, but it's not the overall driving force behind the story. The story is much more about setting up who characters are and what their place is in the world than it is, I have a story to tell, and while I tell that story, I'm going to build the world around it. Every chapter in this book tells the story of a different part of the world. And mind you, the world is, very small at this point. And so you never get into one character story enough to lose yourself in it because you're always jumping to the next character story. So it was a solid 4. I'm looking forward to the second book, but it wasn't a 5-star read. And the last book I read, I finished it yesterday, was Beneath the Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. This was also an anticipated 5-star read for me. It is my book club choice for February 2023. It is World War II historical fiction based on fact. It did live up to my expectations. It is a solid 5-star read. I will review it in depth once book club happens, but it was a solid 5-star read. I enjoyed it immensely. So that's what I read this week. All books will be getting their own blog post reviews, which will be, my blog will be linked down below. And what am I going to read? I have a little bit of a book hangover from Beneath the Scarlet Sky and Children of Fighting Men, Gods and Fighting Men. It's small, though. It's nowhere near as intense as last weekend's book hangover. I'm probably going to read My Blind Date with a Book. Title I forget. It's right here. I will put a picture of it right here. And I'm going to pick up Outlander, I think, this week. And probably at least make a very decent attempt to finish The Hobbit this week. It's a busy week, but I still have time to read. And my brain isn't just mush from book hangover. So that I will get more done this week, which I'm looking forward to. How was your reading week? Hopefully it was a little better than mine. I look forward to your comments down below. Please like and subscribe, share this video with friends, and I look forward to seeing you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.